Get an ID on the car that's parking in the.
And then I got
Parking
to
in
the
the-
third time.
Oh, Brad didn't get back with him?
No.
Because he checked it
Mine's
out.
only two blades.
And he talked to Trevor Fisher, like one of his tenants. But they all meet there together. They're gonna go back and forth for 1 hour. He got the tenant call. Don't quote me, but I
Rumor
just told
was
him
mowing the bank.
he got the message to me.
He must have put a stone out.
Using it.
And I
Parking
hit
in
him
the
right
van.
in the.
I don't care if they park there today.
I'm very rude to him. Was stuck in the other side, you get halfway around the day, does the same thing.
Still, no, I charged
Ain't no
her.
temporary.
Now I just gotta find her.
I got busy today, my wife had me run.
No, I'm talking about the
Oh, well, I'm working on that one. I just got that, so.
I only pulled the deck out once.
And I got the, how much damage?
So then I put the tile.
$477 worth.
When we started stacking her, we
Not to mention.
body down. He was truck body.
And that's when I was just looking. You as a person just know that if you do this, it could offend somebody if they see it.
So I guess I have to go call.
That was all. I saw that and I just.
Yeah.
That's why all the shit on the ground.
That's all I knew.
I had to watch it twice and then I knew exactly what it was too.
No, he said dump the garbage in there, they pile up.
Standard mechanic.
What's that?
Standard mechanic.
I mean, recycling.
And then I dealt with
Yeah, that's different.
Mr. Buckle, 26 Mechanic Street.
What do you?
Well, down there, the campus, they still around, I didn't
Twice a
turn back
month, just
and
sit down and
start
chat. He said, you're the only police officer that needs to my words.
Nothing wrong with that, I guess.
What'd you think of it?
Not, it is. In, okay,
Yeah,
so I am a lawyer.
it's a shame.
What's that?
In lawyer, they essentially, that's kind of, everybody's like, we don't want to deal with it. Send it to me, and I don't have the attorneys to come. Right, but we've been talking about this attorney.
So, I mean, I only have, I normally go like about 4 or 5 black guys.
Yeah, I can take a look at the ethics issue.
Is it for all right?
But let me, right by the start, it was scripted, but I don't dwell on focused on other things now, you know.
There should be a follow-up that we should have some more information about, but I haven't got that either.
That Act 537 would be a different one. See?
I was here last week. You paid attention.
Okay, well.
I shouldn't say that.
This looks like there's an emergency response.
The sign over here where Lexington had the previous.
Goddamn no boxes in the wrong place first,
Yeah, that's what this is the FEMA thing.
Yeah.
That's either money or.
Well, that's a pain in the ass. You can't even put your sign up your
I think
right.
this is one.
Well, I mean, it's also like, you know how in the Gordon was trying to get Al help because of all the.
Sounds like,
Yeah. He didn't
Well,
put
maybe
them
he
on
doesn't have
there.
it ready.
Well, no,
What's called there, the guy had a.
and Gordon was trying to say that all those.
Okay, so you just do that.
That's what I did last time. There's like 20 of them there. That's $50 a sign.
No, not my book.
But he bought the building as that
Was.
Every sign he put on that building was default to the sign. And he doesn't burn it.
That's what sign You don't think I win there?
Oh, no. Right.
I would. Personally, myself, I'd tell them.
Is that the one we?
You're probably standing out there with a sign going, you want to charge me for this?
They put in a brand new store up there and you can't even get the damn sign up.
It's pretty bad.
Well,
It looks like goddamn another box off the corner, maybe. Then you gotta move that other box off the corner first. Well, you goddamn push the change to go across the sidewalk.
You gotta put the awning up on Family Dollar too, to hold up there.
You know one of those square box I'm talking about?
It's a little.
Oh.
Turn the corner, there's a big, that big one. I think
For
it's
the
for the
pedestrian.
light. Is it for pedestrians and stuff?
I'm trying to think, because it could be a traffic light.
It's for the, I
Well,
think it's
whatever
for
it
the
is, it
traffic.
shouldn't have been where it was.
Right.
Cause you go to full light, you can't see a damn thing up that way.
Well, it shouldn't obstruct your view.
That's right.
That's engineers.
Yeah. But see,
Yeah.
they
That's the
want,
state
what
engineer.
happened was, they winding that intersection here, so that box may have been there previously further back than it is now. And then when they widened the intersection, they did not think about moving the box that far back from where they had it.
You know what, I think about getting that, and going up and light that blue house, out by when we get it going.
Say, we the one with the grass up?
Yeah, so we
Well,
can't
we're gonna be
save the
crowding
trail.
up there pretty good.
We can't save the trail. I don't give a shit, I stand there, you don't bother me a bit.
Wait, I'll put some hands over his ears. You can't hear.
Yeah.
I guess you figure if you go to court for lighting a match and being an arsonist, you're only gonna get 3 days.
Yeah, that's right, they're gonna throw up a handshake, does a good deed, get the hell out. Well, for them, they're all there to be on anyway.
You could light it and then if it takes an arsenal,
Well, hell,
like 2
ours
3
gets
hours
wrong.
to get up.
It's
Yeah.
not taking 25 minutes to get out of the hard
They don't have
You
it.
know, it's down ground by that.
I would just rather have somebody just maintain it.
There's the biggest trouble right there.
Somebody just to maintain it. I mean,
Maintain
the
the
guy-
house.
The guy's in jail. for that.
Yeah.
He ain't gonna be out for this.
Well, I heard this bank said they had foreclosure now.
Jennifer, you have agendas for everybody?
They've started the process, but it's just, when I talk to them.
Did you have one for the mayor?
Yeah, he should have that. I copied 8, is that right?
We didn't.
Playing around.
If you're gonna sell it, you do yours.
She lived on the circle long way. Chris, I got some papers for you.
I have this one I looked at.
We used to tie horses, where's the guy named Dog Ken?
Did they look all, or?
Yeah, let them know everything's good and they gotta pay you
Did I give you
whatever it
these?
is. Yes.
I don't know where mine went.
You kidding me? She's got 2.
Oh, Cindy's got two. Cindy's still.
What about one over here with the
I think one, is it the one for, this is the one's a demo and one's to rebuild.
Leon,
He must have put them on the same little Yeah, he wants to take one down and then he wants to put a new one up.
I think one's sufficient.
She's having it 2, it's what Penny told me, so that's what I think we gave you 2. One for the demo and one for the rebuild.
Yeah, I wouldn't think
I
about
was
it.
confused, just.
All right, let's call the meeting to order. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You ready, Jennifer?
Yep. Go ahead.
Roll call. Eddie. Anthony.
Present.
Bob. Here. Cindy.
Here.
Mansell. Absent. Terry. Not here either. And I'm here, so 2 absent. The rest in attendance. Okay, I believe you have a copy of the minutes from the previous meeting. Give them a going over and
second page in the bottom, type one, first paragraph.
At the bottom.
Yeah, I know what it's saying, but choose scope, not scoop.
Which one you're referring to?
Top, advertise for type one.
Oh, that should be scope, instead of scoop.
Just a minor type one.
Sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
Spell check didn't work that time.
Well, they give you a word. Everybody had a chance to look at those minutes? Somebody wanna make a motion?
Make a motion that we accept the August 5th minutes
With
with the verbal change, with the correction added to it.
anybody wanna second that? Seconded by Cindy. Roll call vote. Eddie, Anthony,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
Cindy,
Yes.
Mansell's absent, Terry's absent, and I'll vote yes as well. Motion carries 5-0. Okay, payment of the bills are right there in front.
What did we figure out with the breakdown of Apex? There was, Apex is still not broken down as to who they are and what they're doing.
Did you have discussion?
Just had Nicole said she would send it in the next bill, or whatever, Penny wanted to, how many months she wanted to go back far, so, I don't know if that one, information got to.
I did see something that was somewhat itemized, but I don't know where it's at right now.
And I saw the lawyers only half paid. There. There's a balance still in the lawyer.
Which one?
I don't know, the one to our lawyer.
Pittsburgh or?
No, ours, not the big one. the other
Solicitor?
one.
The solicitor?
Yeah,
Oh. Kenny.
yeah. It was for recent stuff. Why didn't we pay anything past?
You got that, Kenny. She doesn't care about it. entertain a motion if everybody's ready.
Make a motion to, accept payment for bills.
Anthony made a motion to pay the bills. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Eddie. Roll call vote. Eddie?
Yes.
Anthony?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Cindy?
No.
I'll vote yes. Motion carries 4-1 with Mansell and Terry absent. Treasurer's report is in your packets.
So the general fund, profit and loss. General fund profit and loss, bottom of the page.
Figure out.
It says, prior month's revenues, $289,000. That doesn't seem right.
Which page is it on?
It says page 1, but it's, Borough Lawrenceville General Fund, profit and loss. Those numbers are big.
Penny's not here. Does seem big to me.
That might be a typo because I remember last month it wasn't that high, and this number's coming from prior month's revenue.
The downward curve here, I think it's
I can check with Penny for clarification on that when I see
Yeah.
her.
Like Bob said, it seems like it's pretty big. Everybody good with that? What's that? Somebody needs to make a motion to table it.
Make a motion to table this so we can, ask the question. Penny?
Can you speak up here?
Make a motion to table this so we can find out, so we can request our treasurer to find out how this dollar amount came to be.
So Anthony made a motion to table the treasurer's report until we can speak with Penny. Does anybody want to second that?
Yeah, there's like 107,000 in water and sewer for that same category. These are very large numbers. I'll second it.
Okay, Bob seconded it. Roll call vote. Eddie?
Yes.
Anthony?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Cindy? I vote yes, and we have 2 absent. Okay, public comments on agenda items only.
Oh, I have one. Is Apex paid up to date?
As far as I know. Any other public comments? Gordy?
This is to
do with the treasurer's report? Why are you tabling it? Why don't you just vote it down if it's not right, or you don't think it's right? You just vote no.
Giving her a chance to correct it. Okay, any other public comments? All right, moving along, the committee department report, Mayor.
Yeah, real quick, just wanna update you guys on the cap for DEP, so.
Corrective action plan.
Yep, we do have to do that, and we're in process of doing that. It does overlap with the AOC from EPA, but not totally. Nutshell, what they wanna know is, how are we gonna plan to be hydraulically overloaded? What is our long-term plan to bring the plant? So it's, you know, so that's some big items, but we do have a plan. We get it together. Jimmy Joe is putting it together. He run the meeting with me. DEP wasn't bad. Thought they were helpful. So, got a meeting tomorrow about it, and we'll see what Jimmy Joe comes up with.
Yeah.
And before we approve it, I'll get it in front of you guys to approve.
Okay.
The other things I got some building permits here. Zoning permits. I'm happy with them. I went down and took pictures. When you guys get a chance, it's down there on 22 State Street.
This is 44.
Sorry. You don't have to make a motion right now. You just have to look at it. I plan on signing it when our secretary gets some checks.
Okay.
Basically tearing down the barn and putting it back on.
Anything else, Chris?
That's it, guys.
Okay, fire department? Nobody from the fire department, I skipped right over to the police department.
The report's in there.
Yep, report's right here.
Got anything you wanna add, Mr. Bracken?
Just, police department had 26.25 hours last month. We handled 2 different calls. They were theft, follow-ups, traffic complaints, domestic, check welfare, an interview, and suspicious activity. There was an arrest made on a retail theft from Main Street. And then there is an arrest for the domestic. And right now we're down in the car. The car went to the garage on a rollback Thursday night. So we're waiting to hear from the garage to what it is. We believe it's going to be under warranty yet, so we're waiting to hear about that. But I still will be putting hours in via the office for complaints and things like that, and we'll be able to handle things when I work. So, and I've been pretty much working straight through the week at nights.
So I heard a rumor is Brad still on?
He announced down at the township meeting tonight that he will be resigning, but he will not leave us until we have at least 1, if not 2 others hired before he's not gonna leave us high and dry. So he's still working some hours.
I heard that rumor, that's why.
So, but yes.
Okay. Library?
Report's in there.
And which one?
Those are in the last page.
It's flood protection. I don't see it done.
It's just the,
Yeah,
it's just the,
looks like this. It looks like one of the reports. It just says general fund library.
Okay, you got it.
it's just saying what we have in the account.
ambulance. Nobody? Water and sewer, Jimmy Joe is coming up with a plan for where to put these hoop meters so we can check flows. Is there anything else?
I was working on the cap and
The cap,
the drain outside.
yep, and the drain outside. He also went down and looked at, the setup for the fireworks place, and that seems to be up to code, and, so, there we are. Old business, generator installation is still waiting on UGI,
Waiting on the contractor.
waiting on,
On their contract.
UGI has still not done anything with the meter. We'll call them again tomorrow and see where they're at.
Harassment.
Prior year audits, any intel on that?
I do not, I think they're still trying, I think Ontario's still trying to find a CPA that will still do this, because
Right
the
now,
other ones can do it.
right now, we haven't been able to find anybody to do those. Apex invoices, we've already talked about. I did see an itemized statement from them, but I don't know if it's exactly what they're looking for.
What did you say about the generator? I'm sorry.
The generator, we're still waiting on UGI to come and change out the meter. And we'll call them again tomorrow. CDBG paperwork, that's the paperwork for, Clay. And, basically that grant work, Jimmy Joe has sent him a list of things that we would like to work on, and we're just waiting for a response. Fire department payment option, Anthony, you wanna speak to that?
This one was just to add in their contract that for the beginning of the year, I haven't seen any paperwork to update this yet, so we'll probably have to come back to that again. We haven't
So you
decided.
wanna
what we're
table
gonna
that
do.
again?
Yeah, because we haven't decided what we're gonna do here, if it's an option we wanna have.
Okay, insurance renewal.
This one was the insurance renewal, according to the PSAP, we don't need a bid for insurance. But I see on new business that the workers' comp is coming up, we have to pay it by fines. So all these are combined together, the insurance renewal, workers' comp renewal, and then on new business, the workers' comp in full, and the pay cyber can insurance, so all in the same package.
Okay. Alright. We tabled, the southern corrosion proposal for them to bring in a temporary tank, drain the tank down, get inside that tank and inspect it. That was $4,331 for them to do that. You know, we tabled it. I don't know if we want to discuss it more or what have you.
Wasn't that in excess of if we agreed to have a contract with them, that they give us that?
No, that was, they'll do that, and not even worry about the contract. They wanna get in there and look before they give you a bid to contract it out. So basically, they'll drain the tank, give us an inspection report from the bottom of the tank looking up, and it's $43.31.
But we already got that from the other guy, right?
It was done with a submersible.
Right, he said everything was fine. That should let sleeping dogs fly, as long as we passed it.
Okay. Workers' comp renewal, we've already talked about. Tioga County Emergency Service, inactive meeting attendance,
So I spoke to the fire department, and they said they would give us a email, but they couldn't go because they couldn't go because it's night meetings, and they couldn't make those meetings. So they will send it to a council members who wants to attend those meetings, unless somebody else wants to take that position over.
the emergency
Right.
coordinator.
But they will send emails, and we send somebody to meetings, and they'll let us know when it's coming.
Any other questions on that?
Brad Hackett.
Yes.
Yes. Right.
So we basically have to find somebody else to take it over,
Right. Because he can't make the meetings. He said he can't make it.
the one in the fire department also.
He's the only one that I spoke to.
Guess we can go with fire department on Monday night and see if somebody else is interested, so.
But he won't be able to make those meetings.
Okay, so that brings us to 20 Kalneski Street. We've reached out to the people that own the lien on that, and they're claiming that they don't dare to go on there because they were threatened by the individual that had owned the place.
It's been a battle for years.
Uh,
I don't know what to say.
If they got the lien on the thing, I think that they should be responsible for cutting grass. So maybe we draft them up a letter and send them a letter that they need to get that taken care of. Okay. Got Shelley Hasland with 1 meter, 6 dwellings.
Supposed to be 5. I thought I changed it.
Oh, okay, it's 1 meter, 5 dwellings. According to the solicitor, we're billing this correctly.
Building it correctly as in 1 meter for 5 dwellings? Or
Well,
building it
basically what it
correctly
is the minimum for
Each dwelling.
each dwelling, yes.
Can I interject with a question about that?
Sure.
While we're on it? Is their monthly bill ever under that minimum amount that they're paying for each dwelling inside?
You'd have to ask Jennifer that.
Curiously, is that something you could get back to your business? Okay, I feel like it's really relevant though.
I mean, it always,
is.
no, it's not.
Yes, ma'am, it's very relevant, so
We
either
never
your usage,
run-
Okay, we're
those
not
things
gonna get
are
into
private
debate between you guys back
information
there.
for public utilities, so unfortunately, we're all entitled to
I
access.
pay my.
Well, we didn't hear what you said, so now we
That
want
wasn't
to
my
listen.
question.
I'm sorry?
Did we get a letter from the solicitor about that?
No, it's never over the
Did you get
minimum
anything?
charges.
I didn't get
Writing.
anything from
So
him.
it's never
because you
over,
Never.
your meter readings are never,
So this is
6,600
just verbal,
so you're always using less than what they're
Less.
charging you for the minimum. I would like Jen to
How
confirm.
long?
Should we get to the development?
Oh,
Should
it
have
would
it
help.
writing.
How, like how
You have
long?
to justify it.
How long ago did you guys meet for last?
I wasn't at that meeting, you guys were.
No, it's hard, you can't hear them.
I know.
That was, Mansell, Terry, you were
You have to go back on it, you know, I mean, how did we get it wrong, scored it wrong for so long?
Exactly.
And then we turn around and, we did the right thing, right? I know we can't answer the past, but that's a pretty big uptick for anybody.
And it's not like we hid anything. We came to the borough, we came to the powers that be, and they said this is how it needs to be done. And for 3 years, it was charged with one minimum, pay the bill. We have 1 meter, 1 lateral. And then all of a sudden, the secretary changes, and then it changes, because she needs to create revenue for the town. That's her exact words.
gonna do if they do the things they got set still?
Okay. If the lawyer said to do it, I agree with Bob, you know,
Getting the sentence.
that way we don't look like a bunch of bad guys.
Okay. So I'm gonna request a letter from the lawyer.
So, let's take action now though, right, while we're waiting for the letter, so let's correct the problem now. Get the letter, meanwhile,
Okay.
so I make that motion, I guess we, correct the billing issue now, bill per the ordinance.
Always go further.
No, not according to the solicitor. And, correct that problem now and get me a letter from the solicitor stating what you guys discussed.
You're making the motion.
I'm in the motion, yeah.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, roll call, Eddie. Anthony,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
Cindy,
Yes.
and I'll vote yes as well. Motion carries 4 to 1. 2 absent. Okay. Vacant residence building, I'm not sure what that's about.
That was for the property owners, like your landlords who have property that they're not paying a regular water bill on every month.
Okay, so basically.
If I believe right, last month the discussion was to bill them monthly for the usage to have the line there, whether they're using it or not.
So charge them the minimum of
Yes.
$57.15 each month for the line to still be,
Right, even though
Yeah.
the house is vacant.
Right.
right.
That's just how it's.
I thought that's what we was doing.
Well, no,
No.
they had this allotment where you could pay $10 for 6 months, and then,
I thought that was when
you know, that's when you were a snowbird, you went from here to Florida.
Doesn't doesn't make a distinction what you do. Doesn't matter if you're going to Florida, Alaska, whatever.
Well,
It's called an abatement, it's in the ordinance.
Is it a permanent thing?
No,
no, it's not a permanent thing, but some people have used it.
It's indefinite.
it doesn't
I don't think-
specify in the ordinance.
I don't think this one's talking about abatement, it's talking about vacant residences, like people that, their
Just
tenants
renting
moved
out.
out, and now the landlord still has to pay that.
So what's the argument?
Yeah.
I think that was it, right?
Yeah, there needs to be a
so that was it.
motion
What-
so
was
that
it
it
about
can be
vacant?
addressed
Was it-
properly. Because right now it is not
It's
being
not in the
addressed.
ordinance that way.
Yeah, why was it changed, I guess?
Who's reading your ordinances to make these decisions?
So, yeah, you have a rental property and people move out, you have to pay them. It's something
I think what they're talking about is vacant lots.
No.
They're talking
It's gotta
about
be hooked
people
up, I
that,
mean, you gotta have a they're
See,
getting billed the whole.
People
time.
that have a property and there's a water line there, and they called to pay the money to have the water turned off, you're saying they should be billed if they
No,
called to have?
no, not that.
Just vacant.
Just vacant, say if a tenant moves out, and there's still a water line going to that property.
That's what I said,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's still getting paid, so it's not,
The water hasn't been turned.
right, hasn't been turned
I
on.
mean, the water's turned on,
Yeah.
but they have no,
No
No
tenant there
tenants
to
there.
pay it, so the
Okay.
landlord picks up for it.
okay,
That's what they're
but doesn't somebody have to pay a deposit to initiate to get this started?
Normally it does, some people have just moved out, and they haven't.
But
paid
for
it.
the next person, if nobody's living there, before you can go and you gotta pay a deposit,
And
correct?
that's what we've
Right,
been doing.
exactly,
That's what we're
we've been
going
doing.
forward, yes,
Okay.
since I started.
So here's what's happened. We've had at least a half dozen of rentals that people have moved out owing close to $2,000 in water bills, and
Your ordinance reads that the property owner pays that.
that's what I think it means. yeah.
That's what it says.
That's how
But
it
what, but
reads.
that's not what you're talking about. You're talking about a monthly bill.
Yes.
Yes, the monthly, yes, monthly.
See, that's two different things, a monthly bill versus a past bill.
Okay.
Right, that's right, because you're talking about the vacant, just the vacant residences, not the old people that moved out and owed money.
Okay. All right, I've had several people ask me if we were entertaining a fall cleanup. I don't know if we've ever done that before.
Yeah,
Every year.
Yeah.
Every year.
Okay, so does somebody wanna make a motion to do a fall cleanup and pick a date?
It'll be between now and
I don't know.
fall.
We'll have to contact, real
Yeah, we
disposal.
get a dumpster, right?
Yeah, it would be good to clean up for the winter.
Oh, I agree, that's why I asked.
And it was done in
You want to set
September.
a date?
Yeah, third, like
Set a
third
couple
week.
dates so that you can contact real disposal, see what their availability is.
I agree.
We agree we're gonna do one.
We just gotta pick a date and set up a real disposal so we can get the dates together.
So let's make a motion to do a fall cleanup, date to be determined.
Alright, so I make a motion that we set up a fall cleanup coinciding with, real disposal dates
Availability.
so. In September.
In September. So Anthony made a motion to do fall cleanup based on real disposals availability in September.
And then we'll advertise it to everybody, so.
Yeah.
Or send a letter out.
Second? Seconded by Eddie, roll call, Eddie,
Yes.
Anthony,
Yes.
Bob,
No.
Cindy.
Yes.
I'll vote yes, the other two are absent. Alright, Sheasley's water sewer service quote tabled in August, that's for Weaver Street. That's a ridiculous number and I don't think it's anything we wanna entertain at this point.
Did we find out about the rails yet? Did we pay for them? Not pay for them?
We paid for rails, whether they're done or not, that'd be the
That's
next
what,
question.
okay, that's what I wanna make sure.
So they've got on here, pay workers' comp in full to DGK to avoid installment fees.
What have we done in the past year?
I have no idea.
I think that's one of those bills that are up there.
These,
I think that was the one with the post-it note on it.
There was one in there somewhere that I posted. Or posted
Is it in the,
here.
Yeah, I think it was a blue post-it note.
There's a blue post-it there underneath here.
on this one?
Right there.
Oh, okay, got it.
There you go.
I think that's the paper.
Okay. It says, pay it in full to avoid installment fees or $632 for installment fees, is that what that says?
Got me.
32 is the
That's
That's
the
so much it is.
Okay.
Oh, that's the next.
That's the next one.
line down.
Okay, so if we pay this in full,
What's that? 16 grid.
So those guys original.
It's-
This plus these two together.
it's 15,782.
what's the due date on that?
15,000?
Yeah.
I thought I heard.
It's up in the old business there, Robert. Working.
Oh, there it is.
That's cyber insurance, I think.
That was.
That's all the packet we had last month, that big packet we had for DGK.
And the reason there's an increase in the workers' comp is we had a workers' comp claim for like $80,000.
That was
I'm
fun.
aware.
Yeah.
What's the due date on the workman's comp?
Do you have any idea what the due
It
date?
should be right on your invoice.
Cindy's got it there.
August?
Is that,
Don't tell your fire department that. They're working without workers' comp.
No, they're not working down at the recovery.
but we gotta respond to it.
Yeah, we should do it now.
Is that the borough share or is that the borough and township share?
That's the whole enchilada.
So you gotta bill the borough, the township their share.
Yeah, we do that for you.
That would take care of a lot of that, about 80% of it.
We gotta do it, because otherwise it'll be another month.
So the question is, do we do installments or are we gonna do the whole thing, right?
Yeah,
the
that's what the question is, installments or the whole job?
I do the whole shot, get it done with, and then
So,
bill
so
them
you
for
wanna
their
make a
chunk.
motion to pay the whole shot?
I'll make a motion to pay the whole shot,
Okay, Cindy made a motion to pay the whole
and then bill the,
workers' comp, and then we'll bill.
So we're just doing workers' comp, not insurance renewal.
Isn't that everything already included?
The
Because he said the 632 was
The
on
insurance
there.
renewal, it included,
I think
these
that-
two numbers, the 4,331 and the 15,787.
So it's close to 20,000, not 16.
no,
No,
what's the
it's-
renewal?
Yeah, right.
Well, he's saying up in the old business, it's the insurance renewal of
I thought that was the
4331
installment.
and 15,782.
That's the renewal.
Plus the 632 in new business. So we're talking 21,000.
I have 632,
632 is in new
15.
business.
that's all I
Yep,
said.
that's new business.
So I think it's the 632 and 1570.
Yeah,
Plus, you're gonna have to add this, plus the also
And then you have
insurance
to add the
renewal.
other
It's
4331.
also insurance renewal, so for next year.
I think that's the, well, that's if you paid it by payments. We're paying it in full,
That check right there. The packet
that
had
and
everything on it.
insurance. One's comp, one's insurance. We only have comp here.
That blue packet? Yeah, that's it. So it's set right in the back.
Workman's comp, this is only workman's comp.
So it's 15. That's what it is completely.
26,251 is what it's saying in here.
That's workers' comp, the entire thing.
26?
Yeah. That's with the cyber insurance, and
Yeah.
insurance renewal and the workers' comp. Everything all together.
24, 25 is 15. And workman's comp is 26. Yeah.
It was 21 last year, the entire thing was
Do
21.
we have the cash
15
flow
for
to-
insurance, 1572 is just insurance. And then the 26, that's why I said that's a quarter, that 4331 is just a, I know it's a quarter.
Okay,
So 26 on top of it.
so how much should we cut the check for when we do agree?
Is that 30? That'd be about $42,000 if we did it that way. I don't wanna pay 42.
Well, I know we're getting there, I know we're starting to get the bills straightened out and the profit loss, but I don't trust enough to pay $42,000. Not with the bills we got going on. We gotta pay something, but I would do the installments.
That installment is the 4331. And then the 15 is our regular insurance.
But is there options to pay quarterly or installments of,
Yeah, so we can call, if we have any questions about this, we can call.
I mean, because that's a big check.
Because last year it was 21 last year, and now it's 26 entire thing.
That's for everything.
For everything else.
That's because the workers' comp insurance.
I do, at this point, I do the installments, we buy the stuff off on
Okay,
installment.
so you want to disregard your.
Yeah,
Yeah, now we know it's 40.
yeah, no.
When we make our motion to.
So, somebody want to make a motion to pay?
It's 26 now.
Yeah, but the two of them put together.
This is,
No,
no,
it's
just
one
one,
or the
that's
other.
last year's, the other one was last year's. Last year's what we paying last
So
year.
the total would be
Okay,
26,000.
is that 26 and then this one?
That's what we're paying
Workers'
last year.
comp is 26,251.
Yeah, and then 15,782. It's not on this one. 15,782 is everything, property, crime, liability, errors and omissions, auto, excess. That is 15,782.
Yeah, I think this is the total.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you got your 26 on top of that. That's,
So it jumped from 21 to 42.
yeah, no, 21 to 26.
Right, yeah.
And it went up about 1,000 in property, 14
Yeah.
to 15.
5%.
Yeah,
So we're back to 26 then, it's 26,000.
plus property, which is 15. It's like insurance.
15,000 for the property.
15,7, yeah, 82. And then workman's comp is 26,251.
I would recommend you pay it in installments until you get the end one.
Well, until you get your lump sum from
You gotta bill them, yeah.
township.
That would help, it wouldn't drain our account right off the bat.
What about this cyber thing too, for 632?
Yeah, that was, it's in here as well.
No, this is,
Cyber should have been across, it was part of it here. It's the second in here.
I think
no, this one's separate too.
Yeah, it was
It
separate.
said something about it in that sheet there, where something is right in the
Yeah,
middle.
cybersecurity, so it says included.
Yeah.
Well, that was last year. So the proposal was at $632.
For cybersecurity?
Yeah, cybersecurity, yep. Last year was included.
So what are we doing?
I would do everything in a giant installment fee.
So you're making a motion to pay everything in
Installment fee.
installment fees. City made a motion to pay the insurance, all the insurances in installments. Do I have a second?
I need a second. I second.
Eddie,
Yes.
Anthony,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
Cindy?
Yes.
I vote yes, 2 absent. Okay, so that takes care of all that insurance stuff.
No, we're gonna have to do something to check to get it out.
You have to call to find out what the installment, installment company, what everything's about.
Well, if you do it quarterly, what is it, only like 10
Yeah.
grand?
Yeah.
Well, probably a little bit more, because I'll charge you interest, I was close to 11.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Okay, so we have an ordinance here, tax collector compensation ordinance to adopt per parcel 225. And the ordinance is here, if somebody wants to go into that. That's emergency.
So where'd the ordinance come from?
County?
That'd be the county.
Barry, we're gonna get you a filing cabinet. An organizer.
Where's that? That's emergency, that's response.
That might be the one that Penny still has.
Penny still has it.
She's the one that gave it to me or told me to put it on the agenda anyways. but I didn't have anything else other than that.
Okay, let's, table that for now, because we don't have the proper paperwork.
But I know that comes from the county.
Right.
Alright, training purchase, $150 PSAB municipal secretary administration. Jennifer, you wanna?
That's here in our
It's
report
in there.
as well. It's a copy.
Makes
This
sense.
is online learning for,
Secretary?
it's online learning. I don't see what it is before. I know it's online learning.
There's SABs all about the rural activities.
Yeah.
Municipal
Oh, there it
code,
is.
Code.
functions of secretary, meetings, legislation, ministers, learning your job.
So who is it? It's for the
It's for
secretary.
Jennifer, yes. So I make a motion, we accept, the training, PSAP training
Okay,
for, PSAB municipal secretary admin training.
okay, second,
Second.
seconded by Cindy, roll call vote, Eddie,
Yes.
Anthony,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
Cindy,
Yes.
I'll vote yes as well, and we got 2 absent. Floodplain administrator.
That's this.
Inspection, flood inspection projects are proposing to be 24 for the Lawrenceville C-59-1 project. Unless otherwise requested, we will arrange to meet with you or your personnel at the borough office, 6 Mechanic Street. The notice is also to initiate work on any items, scheduling, personnel, mowing, repairs, advance notification of residents along the levees needing attention prior to inspection. Kindly confirm your availability. Regards, Mayor Ron Vestolia.
So, yes, you could be there.
Tuesday, 10 o'clock. Yeah. Have to be there.
I probably can.
Anything you want to prep for, see if it's mowed, it's on top. Are we still entertaining the idea of simple bar down, joining that type of thing?
We're waiting for quotes on that.
They've been selling all those holes. There's one big ass hole right behind the water plant that nobody's ever filled in.
Which hole?
It's an ankle breaker.
Which up?
On top, right?
It's not that big.
It's probably which up.
Well, they always find it.
I can have the guys walk the dike and see what they find.
Snow flies.
We can smoke out the wood chip. Fill holes in.
At least we'll hear what he has to say. Okay, Bill, Bob, this floodplain stuff with the dike, if I remember right, we didn't pass it, it rejected some grants. They always said that, but I wasn't
Yeah.
sure if it was really, because we never really could get there. And I remember, I just don't know if you remember or not.
That's the plan.
Okay, and the last thing on the agenda is 2021 W-2 penalty or IRS.
Penny mentioned this one. She said, we haven't paid our 2021.
No, we paid it, we never filed it.
Yeah, it was never filed, so we have a penalty. It's like almost
$8,900.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a lot.
And that happened in 2021.
Yeah.
We paid everything, we did everything, but it was never filed.
Nice.
And I guess they were sending letters, but somebody never opened letters or answered letters during that time, back in 21.
Can't speak to that, I guess.
Okay, so the only out we have is to pay this fine.
We don't have a choice. If we let it go and drag it out, we're gonna get more of a fine.
Tell you what, it's a lot of money going out the door. Feels-
So this was responsibility of council during 2021,
Yeah.
2022.
Be my guess, yeah. Yeah.
Does it require a motion to submit these or action?
No, it should be just a report that's filed,
Your yearly income tax, basically. And I guess they sent notices, but nobody responded.
so if it's an $8,000 penalty, I guess you gotta pay it.
It was how
So
much?
is that what we're doing here, making a motion to pay the
$8,900.
penalty, or what?
It's a standard thing, I wouldn't worry about promotions and pay the bills.
We gotta
Part of the
pay it.
bill.
Yeah.
Pay the bill.
I'm with it.
It's a bill.
But is
I
it-
understand, right?
Why doesn't your finance committee look into this and determine whether it was filed or not filed?
It
And
wasn't filed, it was looked into, Gordy. You should know
Okay.
it wasn't filed.
Who looked
Penny-
into
Penny
it?
called
The IRS
Penny
or-
called-
Who
Penny
looked
called
into
them.
it?
Penny
Did the
called them
finance
and
committee
found
look
out that
into
we
it?
had this penalty. So she did call and found that we had the penalty. She didn't know how high it was until she called.
She didn't know it wasn't filed, so
Right.
there's no paperwork anyplace for it.
So she was looking for all the information for 2021 W-2s to make sure everything was filed, and that's what she found out when she called, and then she got the penalty from them.
This one was when we were paying the employees straight checks without taking taxes out, correct?
No. They all got W-2s. It just never was filed.
So they just sent a letter here once and it never.
No, they were sending letters all through 21.
So.
Well, Penny got this one, yeah, the other ones did receive, but the one that for the penalty that they had the number on it came through this year. But yeah, they've been sending it before.
You guys need to figure out where the letters went. You guys were in charge, president and
We're-
vice president.
Were you on the borough council then?
In 20, who was in charge in 21?
Who was the president?
Yes,
Catherine Helderman.
in 21.
Yeah.
No, she hasn't been
No.
president since I was.
What do you mean no? You're saying she wasn't?
It'd be
I was the president
2022. It's for
22,
working
23.
2021, right?
Right, so
So
it'd
it
be
would
in
actually
20.
happen in 2022.
Yes.
Just for clarification, guys, this happened in 2022, for year 2021. Just like your income taxes.
It's
It's
for
a year
the year 21? So why don't you have your attorney review this and get the documentation?
So you can waste more
Right-
of these
right
people's
now,
tax
you-
dollars, Gordon?
You have
That
nothing on
attorney
the
costs
table,
money.
you have nothing on the table that shows you owe this. You know, and you make it a comment, well, I guess we gotta pay it. You don't,
Last time you fought the IRS, how did that work out for you?
I don't have a sheet of paper, is what he's saying. There's nothing on.
there's,
Do
you have
have
no
a-
document,
I don't have a document.
no,
I don't have a document.
okay? So why, you know, you don't even,
Document. And if we don't pay it within a certain amount of time, it goes up from there.
Good
Yeah.
job.
IRS has post-dated.
you know, get copies of the letters that they said they mailed you in the past. They've got
can't,
copies of
Gordy.
those letters. What do you mean you can't?
Because you have them.
Why?
You were in charge back then. Give us the letters and then we'll know. If
Ask
it was
them for,
paid,
if I
it
have the
was
letters,
paid-
ask them for copies of
If
the
it was
letters.
paid, give us the letters. Give
I'm
us the
saying, I'm
letters.
saying they never
It's,
sent the
it's,
letters,
it's not an issue of paid if it was fine.
If it was filed.
okay?
Well, he doesn't even have it paid, so it don't much matter.
Okay. Guess we'll have to figure that out.
So you're not doing anything yet?
Find out
Before you spend
how-
$8,000 of taxpayers' money, find out exactly,
How do you act when you don't have all the information?
you don't have any
Find out
information.
what the due dates are on all that stuff.
well, we gotta find out what it is.
Request a record of all communication.
Yeah.
All these things.
Yeah.
And what are our options? Do we have to pay the whole amount?
They'll probably let you do an installment.
If we filed the money, and we did all the paperwork, and we sent them the money,
We didn't
or
do all the
whatever, okay?
paperwork.
Why is there a penalty that amounts to that kind of money in less than a year?
It's not, this It's
2 years.
No, it says it's for the year, so you wouldn't file it in 21, you'd file it in 22.
You had to pay you have to pay your quarterlies during 21. So at the end of 21, you have to pay in 22 for 21. No one ever filed, sorry, not pay. No one ever filed in 22. It's like not filing your income tax.
You
You
know
can
that.
pay it all along, but
I
if
don't
you do
know
not
that. How
file
does
it,
she know and I don't? Why didn't she
if
do
you
it?
don't file it, you get in trouble for not filing your taxes.
Yes.
That's what happened. We did not file any paperwork. We
But you-
paid, but you did not file.
That's according to you in hearsay.
No, it's according to the IRS.
I don't, do you see a document that says that in front of you?
Let me see, the IRS said it, and I'm gonna believe it right now, because otherwise, you're gonna get us all
We'll
going to jail.
we'll have to check with her and see if she has documents on that, but
She did get a letter back from him.
How far back do you wanna go?
I wouldn't go any farther than 2021.
Just like January of 21, or do you want?
They've even gone to Vicky, the last CPA, and she has nothing. Vicky's been
Yeah.
trying to help, and there's nothing.
Okay, I guess we tabled that for now, until we figure things out.
We can ask them at the same time if we'll be paying installments.
Who's the secretary at that time?
There wasn't no secretary in 2022 for at least 6 or 7 months.
There was a secretary for maybe 90 days or wasn't one, and that was in 2022.
Yeah, but that was near the end of 22, not at the beginning.
We'll have her send it to everybody in the, all the council members, because I know the letter came, so we'll have her send that.
I do that
There
too.
should be a date on it, check the
The
date,
letter
so
came.
we don't forget on that.
So let's
From
table it
IRS,
for
yeah.
now.
You do know?
Okay, moving forward, comments from,
Real quick, made me think about the street sweeping was great. Plowing, we, you wanna quote that out, your first choice?
yeah, we
got-
probably should quote that.
I would amend the agenda, whatever you guys gotta do, but it's September and we gotta get our quotes in. First choice is ready to come back and do it, but let's quote it out the right way. He'd like to do it for 2 years too, a 2-year quote if possible.
Okay,
But they'll do it when we can, so.
okay, we'll just have to put it on for.
Yeah,
I don't think we can
that-
amend the agenda for financial. Financial. It's a financial thing we can amend.
We gotta get bids anyway.
I just hope to get bids, right?
No, we can do that.
That's what I'm saying, bids, that's all you gotta do, we can
We're not
hire
spending-
whoever we
We're not
want.
spending any money yet for it, so.
Yeah, I would post for.
So you're saying we can amend the
So-
agenda,
To get bids, it's not,
you're gonna have to make a motion to amend the agenda
okay, so I make a motion to amend the agenda
to
to add, to get
quotes
quotes for the
snow removal.
Yeah, snow removal in the paper of record.
Okay, Anthony made a motion made a motion to amend the agenda, we gotta vote on that first, do I have a second? To add
Yeah, first I gotta amend the agenda, I make a motion to amend the agenda
for,
for to add the snow removal.
so do we have a second?
I'll second.
Roll call vote, Eddie, Anthony,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
Cindy,
Yes.
I vote yes, and we got 2 out.
Okay, so now I make a motion to add snow removal bids in the paper of record.
So Anthony's making a motion to advertise in the paper of record for snow removal bids. Is that what you?
Yes.
Have a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Eddie, roll call. Eddie,
Yes.
Anthony,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
Cindy,
Yes.
I vote yes. Motion carries 5-0 with 2 out. Okay,
You're gonna put another ad in for Scenery, or were you gonna add this as winter maintenance?
winter maintenance. Anybody got any comments, questions?
I'm confused why the insurance renewal was 4331 and the southern corrosion proposal is the same amount. Is that an error or just the way it worked out?
I know for a fact that the southern
a
corrosion
portion.
proposal was 4331.
So is this a portion of that?
No, this is the portion of the other amount, whatever Penny gave
Yeah.
me the numbers for. I-
Maybe it's
this
just
amount.
a
Yeah.
huge
Yeah.
coincidence, or maybe it's a
Okay,
typo.
that's where we're at, coincidence, which is freaky weird.
Any other comments? Gordy,
I got a bunch of them here.
well, let's do one at a time.
That's what we're gonna do, okay. On the fire department payment there, paying the balance is, first of the year, once a year, whatever. You probably have to change the ordinance to do that. I think the ordinance is that, they're paid, monthly. Another thing is, do you get a discount by paying it once a year versus monthly?
No, there's no difference. So in the contract, it says you have the option to pay on January, and then you have that one off, that's the only time you have that option, is in January.
To pay it
But you
full.
also have an ordinance for fire protection that reads, that you should read to see what that curtails. And then also, in order to change the ordinance, you gotta advertise that. And then, down below on the other ordinance on the tax collector compensation, you got 3 tax collectors. Is that $225 for each parcel, each tax collector? Or is that only for the county, or is that only for the school, or is that only
I
for the
believe
borough?
that's only for the county.
Okay. The other thing is, in that ordinance, does it, I guess you don't know what it says, do you?
Not much.
Okay, so, that has to be advertised, I believe, before it can be adopted,
We didn't act on it.
okay,
That's what we tabled it.
and then,
You did.
Yeah, we did.
on this floodplain administrator, what, I couldn't really hear did anyone else hear what that floodplain?
So basically, it's,
They wanna walk the dike and inspect.
they wanna inspect the dike.
This is a yearly inspection?
Yep, it's somebody from DEP,
Okay, it's their yearly inspection.
Narayan Bastola, and he's coming on the 24th of September at 10 a.m. to inspect you.
So, because every other year it's DEP.
Okay.
And then, on Shelley Haslam, somebody made a motion, what was the motion on, Shelley Haslam's, communications here?
Yeah, I made the motion to
Yeah.
correct the billing issue now, and get a letter from the solicitor stating what his determination of the issue was.
So, in the meantime, you're gonna follow the ordinance?
Sure we did. Anthony second, and all voted yes.
Okay, okay.
So, in the meantime, you're gonna follow the ordinance, or
That's what I thought correct the billing issue meant,
follow the ordinance?
yeah.
And what does that mean?
What the ordinance says.
And nobody has,
We
we all
have not
talked
been
about it,
presented
but
with
you
the
never
ordinance,
really
so-
talked about it. What does it say?
The ordinance is,
Vague, I know.
The ordinance says that Shelley
No,
has to.
I don't wanna talk to you.
I know the ordinance.
I wanna talk to you.
Okay, let's hear what he's got to say.
the ordinance is ambiguous. It can be read, it can be read from 2 or 3 different perspectives.
Yes.
I've talked to the solicitor, I have also talked to other individuals who deal with law, and each one of them says you can read that and get 2 or 3 different things. My recommendation is we rewrite that ordinance.
The bottom line of the ordinance says that Shelley has to agree.
Excuse me.
Wait a
I-
minute though, but we have a 50-year precedent of how it was interpreted. Now, all of a sudden, we don't understand what it means and we're gonna change the billing? I'm just saying what the situation is. So why would we reinterpret it 50 years, 40 years later, and then choose to bill differently? I mean, that's crazy. You got
Because the
quite a
powers that
precedent.
be, when we started this, decided to bill one way, and then all of a sudden, it gets changed differently.
I agree. but we're fighting a 40-year precedent or 45.
Can we come back with some financial information on the impact of what this changing or adjusting this ordinance interpretation would mean?
There's no adjusting, it's going back to how it was.
Can
But
somebody
how was
present
it?
some
That's what you're
financial
not
information
explaining.
on
It's
the
how it
impact?
is.
That's not what,
No.
you're not explaining that though. Is she going to be billed for one, or is
I
she
think
gonna
where
be
the
billed for
confusion,
five?
I think where the confusion lies is, like I said, you get one person read it, another person read it, there's confusion.
I agree.
Is it
I just-
unfair to ask the council to come back with a financial, report on what it looks like in either direction on what decision
Six
you
more
make?
dwelling units on my house, and they'll just have one lateral.
My experience is people know ordinances from other municipalities and they try to impress it upon us. Our ordinances are written slightly different. You just need to follow our ordinance. It doesn't matter how Tioga bills, it doesn't matter how Elkland bills. It only matters how Lawrenceville's ordinance is written.
Well,
So,
my understanding is that you made the motion to do it. What are you?
no.
You,
He has said that numerous times, that it's all about me. No. It's not.
I think what she's asking is you
In
made,
regard to Haslin, you were in favor of it. Keeping one meter with the 5 units.
okay, that's what I'm asking.
And then
'Cause
you
I
get a
think
letter
there's
from the
no-
lawyer.
I think there's no clarification. They're keeping it the way it is right now, so there won't be a change in their bill.
I made a motion to correct billing issue now and get a letter from solicitor stating his claims. which
Why
we'll
would you have to
discuss here.
correct the billing issue if you're happy with the way it was?
Because she has a billing issue.
This says, communication, she wants, she
So-
asked for a
so-
letter
so
and never got it.
Basically, what's going on here is they were billed
Mhm.
for one unit,
One minimum.
one minimum,
As homeowners and property owners, we were paying the bill ourselves.
and they're paying the
one.
bill. Like I said, there's some ambiguity between in that ordinance that depending on how you read it, should they be billed for 5 minimums or should they not?
What's confusing is we debated this for years, but the ordinance never shows up on this desk.
And that's my point.
The confusion.
And also,
That's the only
for
confusion.
50 years, there was never an issue until Penny Jeffers became the secretary.
Twice,
She's the one that changed it.
twice.
Then when she left, and then it was changed back to what the ordinance says. Then she comes back, and then her
And all of a
answer
sudden
to
it
that
changes
was,
again.
I'll have to check with Mansell. Is that right?
No, that's not right.
Is that right? Or,
Yes, that was exactly.
Is that what is her
that's
exact words?
exact the words.
Her exact
Instead of
words.
reading the ordinance.
But none of you are bringing that ordinance here and discussing it, you just throw your sides back and forth. It's not solving a thing.
I don't disagree with her. The bottom line says that whoever owns the property has to agree to the increase.
I don't know any municipality
Don't say
wording
it
that
doesn't
works
say
that
that.
way.
Not
Nothing works that way.
Go get the
We,
ordinance.
we don't operate on agreements,
Go
like
get the ordinance.
gentlemen's
I've
agreements.
read the ordinance. Doesn't that say that at the bottom?
No.
It says the owner has to agree to that.
Jennifer, you have your ordinance in
I
there.
can get that, hold on.
Ordinance 136.
Yep, I know, Gordy.
And we're still gonna argue.
While she's
You're
looking
right.
for that,
Because it's the way you twist it.
What if other people have questions, Gordy? It's
well, then have them
8:15.
raise their hand.
I'm standing, I've been standing while you've been,
I can't see how. Go ahead.
of questions when it's
Go ahead.
actually a comment period.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, you,
Comment.
well, got a few. How about a question, Gordy, for you? Are you comfortable with the increase in taxes to cover these expenses for the negligence, the operation of the borough?
Absolutely.
You're comfortable with an increased tax rate?
All I know is the last 5 years the taxes have been lowered.
Yep.
And I'm in favor of paying that penalty after it's reviewed and determined whether or not it's over.
Okay, but you're no longer on council, so as a
Going
taxpayer,
forward, let's address the questions, comments to the borough.
has
borough
all
council.
borough property been returned from both former council members and Penn York Accounting?
Everything, they gave us, everything digitally, and they gave us some physical paper records.
And when we changed council members in January, was all borough property returned to the borough?
Not everything, we still have some keys, but we've changed the keys. Keys are the only thing I know that was actually physical in nature.
I don't mean to be a broken record, I ask you guys this question just about every month, if all borough property has been returned, and everybody still says no. Is there a way we're gonna go about fixing this, or getting that property returned to
They
the
said it
borough?
was a key.
It was keys, so we
The-
have a,
the-
we're making a,
The keys are not an issue because we changed the law.
Okay, well now we know there's letters
we're making
that
a key
are
log,
floating
so we know who has
around.
keys and where the keys are.
Has anyone considered contacting law enforcement for the documents that haven't been returned?
I'm not sure which document.
As we're discovering that documents don't exist, like meeting minutes now and letters from the IRS, I think are pretty important. Would you guys agree on that? Those documents are important documents in relation to the borough?
Okay,
Cindy
so
does? Thank
if
you.
I can go to ordinance 136. 136.
Yeah, well, you kept saying 130 and then
No, he said 136.
Okay, let's move forward.
Okay, this states, every single house must have a separate meter, and all double houses and rows of houses must have a separate meter for each tenant. An apartment house, duplex house, office building, or business block occupied by more than one tenant will be supplied through a single meter, except that in any portion thereof which is capable of a separate ownership must have its separate meter. Notwithstanding the foregoing section 36 and 37, more than a single tenant, house, apartment, store, office, or shop will be supplied through a single meter if all the consumers to be supplied through such meter are supplied through a single house service line, and the application for water service is made by the owner of the building or buildings occupied by such consumers. Where conditions make it difficult to install meters for each consumer, a single meter will be installed and a minimum charge will be made for each consumer supplied through the single house meter.
keep going.
As listed for the size meter that would be required to serve each individual consumer. The water registered by the meter will be divided by the number of consumers, and any excess water above the several minimum allowances will be charged one rate to the several consumers. This will be done only if agreeable to the parties concerned.
So parties concerned are actually tenant and landlord in that statement,
You-
not borough and landlord. I think
But he
you're
hasn't
reading
got to the
it
end
correctly.
yet.
I want you to read the whole
What's
thing.
the definition of parties at the top, Barry?
Just appease them and read the whole thing.
Definitions are not in that part of the ordinance. They're in the beginning of the.
Well, that would be
Meters will be
important, since that's what we seem to be
maintained
arguing about.
by the authority, that's all there is to it. And now it goes into who maintains the meter.
Yes, it goes to the back, to the end, it says that the owner of the property has to agree to be charged individually.
That's
Why
what
would
you
anyone
think
write
it
that
says,
in
but I
there?
just read it to you.
Why would
Let me
anyone
read
write
it to you, hang here.
Gordy, parties are landlord and
Huh?
tenant, not borough and landlord.
It says, the water
It
registered
would
by
never
the
be written
meter
that
will
way.
be
That's-
divided by the number of consumers, and any excess water above the several minimum allowances
Multiple.
will be charged prorate to the several customers. This will be done if agreeable to all parties in concern. And this is where it becomes ambiguous, because I can read that's a tenant thing.
My tenants don't pay the bill, I do.
You're a long ways from the
It's
end.
the-
You're a long ways from the end.
Go ahead, Gordon.
Well, you're the one that made the damn party.
I don't need to read the whole thing.
Parties, just parties.
Okay, well, he's looking at that. Does anybody else have any comments?
I do, I have a comment. So I've said this a couple times now, we're continuing to spend borough funds to cut grass on the south side of the borough, right, that lot that's around the borough sign. I think we're like cutting this like every week or two. I have a hard time using my tax dollars to pay private property. We could be using those tax dollars to cut the dike, and I've notified you guys about this probably 3 times now. So, it's the
Where the
big
sign
lot
is.
by the sign,
Where the sign is.
okay, was there maybe an acre worth of grass there? Whatever it is, half acre, whatever it is, but I don't understand why we're doing that. If we continue to do that, it's not right, we're using taxpayer
Well,
dollars.
they did it.
We should be just cutting right around the sign.
Been cut for years like that.
What about the red and white property there ain't never cleaned off? Where the fire company's next to it?
This one right over
Yeah,
here.
why ain't that clean?
I don't know. I don't even know who owns that.
Well, about time somebody finds out, gets the rest cleaned up. They don't wanna go down to taxes.
Whatever. Okay, so can we look into, can we put the resources into mowing the dike instead of that?
There goes your ordinance. He's not
They
explaining.
don't wanna make the goddamn thing when you're going to
So we can go.
go home and steal it.
Does anybody else have any questions?
Hang on just a second here, we'll get to the.
No,
Yeah,
come on,
sure.
I just wanna go home.
You can get the ordinance and you guys can hash it over.
We need that back, don't we? Isn't that our ordinance?
That's our ordinance, yeah.
Yeah. Don't-
I want that
don't
one
leave
back.
Yeah, I get that.
Okay, I second.
It says consumers. Consumers are individuals that are paying the bill,
Really?
okay? She has no consumers paying her bill.
I
That's
think-
not
She
your
is-
problem.
I think
And
that's
it's
the whole,
hurting you,
I
it's
think
hurting
that's the
you
whole
and your
point there.
tenants. Again, not you
What's-
and the borough.
Okay, go ahead.
Your tenants.
She's
It's
also
on the
getting,
damn line, so
with
It'll be
paying those
divided.
minimums, she gets 1,500 gallons for each mill.
they're on the line, so it shouldn't be damn big difference anyway.
Well, whatever, that's, you're right about that, but,
I get yelled at.
but,
Well, multiply six times 1,500.
That's 7,500 gallons.
Yeah.
no,
And
that's,
that's what the ordinance
that's
said.
15, no, it's 15, it doesn't, it says 1,500 per
Oh,
consumer,
the same thing?
Per dwelling.
okay? She's the only
What's the
consumer
consumer?
of that property.
No,
No.
there's
No.
6 apartments with consumers that live
No,
inside.
they don't, a consumer definition is the person that pays the bill.
No, a consumer is one who
consuming it, Gordy?
consumes the water.
Well, anyway,
I don't have a problem hooking my daughter's house up to my lateral because I'm the consumer. I
Right.
can put as many people on my
No.
lateral as I want.
Nobody else consumes anything.
Right.
Thank you.
Forget the
But I've been fighting for 3 years.
Okay, there's a motion to adjourn the meeting. Somebody second it?
Second it.
Who made the motion?
Who made the motion?
I did.
One more thing.
You can't first and second.
Yeah,
Somebody want to
there's a
second
problem
it?
with that.
Second it?
Barry, on your Cheesley service quote, you got a quote a year ago from them that they never did the work.
They pumped it out. I don't know if they replaced the rails.
Okay, because really,
And then they come back with this $100,000
Yeah, what do
thing,
you-
and I said no.
right, I agree, so
Okay.
have you paid them that lesser amount and did they fix the rails?
I have to get in there and look. Motion, roll call vote.
Yes.
Anthony?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Cindy?
Yeah.
And yes, motion carries 5-0.
Hey, Bob, if you want to come, do Thursday meetings. Come to the meeting. About the mowing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that, it just doesn't, I know, that doesn't make sense.
No, here they are. Bob's got them.
Bob's got 'em.
So we got a problem with these, right? So step 2 is, step 1 is show all property lines, including setbacks in feet and distance, property lines. And we got just a dimensions here, so it doesn't say where it's going on the property. We can't do it. So they need to put the property line in here. Because we gotta go through this. Property must be staked out so the inspector can verify all measurements. Has it been staked?
The property that they are arguing
If the property is not staked, the application will be rejected. It says right there.
Somebody else can take it home.
I keep getting yelled at every
Telling you,
time.
we're not following the.
Somebody else can do it then.
Driveway, and then they have to disclose her meter readings.
But it says show all property lines, setback.
So what you're saying is you need a
I've
diagram?
been working on this for a while.
No, that's what this says.
What are you asking?
You asked for like the GIS mapping?
Let's not act like I'm making it up.
No, I'm not saying it.
Is, what I'm saying is,
If I gotta call him, I need
it's
to
a
know what you're
checklist.
telling me.
It hasn't been filled out. Show me where the setbacks are on that property.
I don't know.
Right, I don't either, because they're not.
I just know he put in what this is for, one's for the building, or just one for the demolition. One is to tear down,
And
and
it's
one
not
is to
this, it's
rebuild.
all applications. They gotta have the required, that's why we have
I
the
see you,
checklist.
Grace. Give me just
First of all, the owner has to stake out the corner of his
But
property.
he's not doing a mistake when he came in.
You come down every weekend, but you had to be in school the following
We
Monday.
were back before Monday because we always celebrated my stepdad's birthday. And we started that following Tuesday. Always. Just totally different without your hat on. You know that.
Well, he doesn't.
Well, and when
It's not necessary.
Oh, and it's the glasses! Yes, thank you.
So
I didn't
yeah, that's a
recognize him without
possibility.
his
It's a
hat
good
and his
idea.
glasses on.
If we can get another one, I will teach my son when you're inside a building.
Oh, it's so lovely out here. Thanks, Sunny. I gotta get the light to turn on. Alright, real quick, guys. I've got a short version for you, but I'm gonna unplug this microphone because I probably don't need it now. And the light didn't turn on. Thanks, Wes. Yeah, certainly. This is mild, so. Here we are. Me too, sis. You know what? We had a good chat when I first got here earlier today. I'm gonna try not to mess this up and get this tightened before I walk away, so I'm not bonking you guys around. True story. What a circus. So every time I ask about the financial implications of this particular unit meter that we're talking about here with the usage, from my understanding, there is not just the 2 homeowners that reside there on this 1 meter. There are 6 units, which could be up to at least 6 tenants, if not 2 in each unit, on top of, thank you Cheryl, thank you guys, on top of a laundromat. So this particular water meter is supporting a laundromat. I find it very difficult to believe that at any month they are underneath the minimum allotment.
Well, I did see.
Oh, we
where
do
it
too.
said you
We
had to
certainly
have
do too. That hasn't changed.
The stakes were there, but I mean,
Got it
if,
pretty tight. So,
if it's just replacing.
I've also been told, if you guys can still hear me.
I went and looked at it. He's way off the side. He's not even close to the road line.
Yeah, but see, because the stakes were in, and then I would say that he's this far
So,
from the borough line. So why do I need
every time I ask about the financial implications of this particular property, I actually get yelled at. Not only do I get yelled at, but people get really upset, and I believe I was lied to tonight. I can't imagine that the usage for a laundromat and, I don't know, at least 6 or 7 adults is going to be under their minimum. Maybe I am wrong, so we'll file a right to know and we'll get the information sorted out, because that's what I really like to do. Let's get to the facts, but it's for some reason been made very difficult concerning this particular space. I also have checked the GIS maps, which I think is what they're in there discussing right now. This unit is right, Grace, right. Some things just make normal sense. If I can get this information. Yeah, I don't think I am. No, I genuinely don't think that I am. Let me see if I can make myself comfortable here. I don't think I am wrong, and I think that they're fair questions, and I'm really still concerned on why people are upset about me asking these questions. Interesting, Anna, because I am. I actually am talking about two different places that are, again, being built for 1 meter, or measuring with 1 meter, but being built for multiple minimums. So I find it really difficult to believe that this particular meter is ever under their minimum of 5 or 6, whatever the math turns out to be. Okay, car wash, there's a large water consumption, something that's part of their building. Laundromat, car wash. But the service that goes into this property is grandfathered in. It's not exactly in the borough. And I did check the GIS maps, and they do show that it's not actually all the way in the borough. So it's kind of a funny, it's kind of a funny ordeal. I mean, you gotta consider, like I said, the financial implications, and I'd really like to know those. So we'll file a right to know, I guess, to get that. Obviously, guys know there's no oversight if they don't fulfill the right to know. There's no one that says, hey, you know, you didn't do this, you have to do this. We went through this in the past. Just like with that 2021 W-2 IRS paperwork. So, all right, guys. Of course, if you find value in what I do, make sure you like. Thank you guys for commenting, sis, Grace. Thank you guys all for talking to me tonight. Super appreciate it. Kept me certainly on par. I've got some questions about the recycling bills, or the recycling out here. I am pretty sure that you can't put hazardous waste in there. So just take a minute to remind yourselves and maybe your friends or neighbors and family that they can't accept hazardous waste in the recycling dumpster, and that includes electronics. So TVs, computer monitors, laptops, things like that, don't put them in there. They could be the reason they're not taking the recycling. Oh, thank you guys so much for tuning in. You know, the best way that you can help me out is share it in our comments. It all helps the algorithm get people on board to see us. And you guys are pretty popular down in Wellsboro. So, all right. Thank you, veteran. Check on your neighbor. Welcome to fall. And we'll get back to you about a cleanup date. Good night, guys.